Okay, we have found this abandoned house.
I mean, even if it's abandoned, right? Someone still owns the land. There was a sign too. What? Yeah. Look, and a lot of the times when I'm talking about stuff like this, you know, and I'm saying like, yeah, they don't do this. This is not a good idea. Even though like it's a funny video, and most of us can understand that there is pretty much like not that much wrong with this. But obviously, you know, because Ludwig's a content creator and a big content creator, it's still illegal to do it. That's why I'm being a stickler about it, right? Because you know, Lud can do this, and then he gets to go home and stuff. And all it takes is like maybe the guy just comes to check in on his plot, sees someone camping, calls the police, and then you got a really awkward situation on your hands. And luckily the police are really chill here, so probably nothing will happen. But they can hold you for 28 days without charging you.
Guys, did you know that trespassing in Japan is illegal? Hey everyone, go get a nice bucket of popcorn for this video right now on Thursday afternoon. I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what's going on in Japan right now, but I'm getting a lot of video ideas from that country. Oh, to be more precise, I'm getting a lot of ideas from streamers in Japan doing awful stuff. Like for example, a couple days ago, I covered Micheal being a bit of a monkey climbing on a cherry blossom tree. Now, I think what he did was wrong. However, I think some other people had way too much venom for him because they compared him to people like John Somali for no reason. But today's video, this might be, I'm not even kidding, this might be the most nothing burger ever caught on camera. These two big streamers, Ludwig and Micheal Reeves, were called up for the crime of, get this, trespassing on a Japanese person's territory on a ugly, hideous, dilapidated building in the middle of nowhere where nobody lives at all. But worst of all, the people calling out Ludwig and Micheal is a huge respected streamer, CDawgVA, or just Connor, whatever. And listen, I'm gonna be entirely honest, I think he's an alright streamer, I don't mind him at all, but Connor, he did not cook at all. So once again, like many of the videos before in the past, I learned about this from the wonderful account, Yeet, and they captioned saying, CDawgVA made a YouTube video where he mildly called out Ludwig and Micheal Reeves for trespassing and camping on an abandoned lot in Japan. Yeah, and it quotes, if it's abandoned, someone still owns the land, still illegal, doesn't matter how harmless, shouldn't film yourself trespassing. That video was deleted. However, you know, I did my own digging. That's the video itself. I found, you know, the VOD, the stream, still up on its own account on CDawgVA, and I watched it, and I was like, he did not cook. Like, he made no sense at all, and to be entirely honest, he was overreacting, in my opinion. Let me play it. So from my understanding, they were going like around Japan, you know, just traveling, like on motorbikes, whatever. And around day 12, they went to like an abandoned building and they camped there. Or to be more precise, they went to like the backyard of the abandoned house and camped there for a bit, for the night, whatever. And this struck a chord with CDawgVA. It struck an A minor with Connor for some reason. And you know, there's like such a nothing burger because he makes no good points about how this is illegal or, you know, at worst, immoral.
Okay, we have found this abandoned house, and we're wondering...
Is it abandoned? How do you know it's abandoned, Ludwig? I'd love to hear how you know it's abandoned.
A little investigation.
Okay, alright, so far, you know, he's already so upset. Like, how do you know it's abandoned? Fuck, I don't know. Wait, let me just actually like pull up the frame where it looks, you know, ugly as shit.
It could be the play for like little postal...
So look at that fucking ugly ass building. Like that, they're going to the house to the left, by the way. That house on the left looks dilapidated as shit. It looks like it was fucking bombed out from back, like even before World War II, like, you know, in the Russo-Japanese War. It looks that fucking, you know, destructed already. I will give CDawg the benefit of the doubt because right next to it is an actual nice house where people definitely live in it. So, you know, I don't get why, you know, there's a very ugly ass house in a perfectly fine neighborhood. Doesn't make any sense. However, if I was Ludwig or Micheal, I would understand, you know, the idea that, oh, this is abandoned, nobody lives here. Because look at how ugly it is. Good God.
Camping spot. This house.
Someone, like, I know it looks bad, but there could easily be someone living in here. I know it's bad. Like this is clearly like someone's living here. So like, well, it looks like shit. You're just gonna walk in.
House is definitely lived in.
Yeah.
Because that blue paint is fresh.
Yeah, it's just trespassing. Look, why? Don't do
Okay, this one made no sense. I saw, initially, like, he watched the entire video first and then was like, guys, there's an issue here. No, within the first 10 seconds, he's fucking, he's like, oh, I'm so offended at this guy trespassing on an abandoned house. And bear in mind, I watched this clip like, 2 or 3 times. There is not a single sign that says, in kanji, in English, that don't trespass here. Sometimes, when people leave a building, they don't give a shit people trespass. Or is it even trespass, They also, if it was trespass, they'd have to like walk into the house, which they didn't. They went like around the backyard. Nothing at all. Jesus Christ.
do this.
This one is definitely abandoned. Seagulls living on it right now.
Bear in mind, this is before they're like 10 feet away from the actual house. They haven't even stepped in. He's like, oh my god, this is so bad. Like, calm down, Connor. Holy shit.
You know what's cool about this place? A bear can't get here. Where did Michael go?
Gone. Eaten by a bear.
Okay, so I guess I was wrong about the bears. Here's fine, actually, right?
It's just at the back of someone's house. What is he doing? What is he doing?
There's like a dirt sort of structure, so we would be basically right here.
Yeah, right there. I guess I'd be worried that the house falls down on us.
No.
This shit looks like a Borderlands 2 side quest mission area.
Do we do 1 tent? We do, right? For sure.
Wait, what?
Do you think 2 tents?
Don't you have a tent?
I'll pause here, to give some interjection. Yeah, look, they go around the house, not even inside it, and they camp, quite a bit away. I'll show you exactly where they camped, but yeah, it was quite far from the actual house. Like, this is like a really big point of contention that someone might be living there. But I'm sorry, guess what, if they lived there, they would see Ludwig and Micheal and be like, hey, sorry, can you leave? And guess what? They would not put up a fight. Why the fuck would Micheal, Reeves, and Ludwig put up a fight, where to camp? They would leave immediately. I'm sorry, but once, if there was any sign, like saying don't trespass, they would follow that, so they would respect it. But this situation, I would not blame for believing that nobody lives there and they can camp there for a night. I don't blame them, not even a bit.
Yeah, but I think it's worse. It'd just be colder.
Yeah, but but you're smelling feet.
I'm sorry, but the entire time, like, Connor has like a face, like some kid, or like a dad of a kid that just fucked a pug. Oh my god, this is so bad. I can't believe this shit.
You're smelling feet. But you're smelling fucking feet.
Oh my god, bro. I'm sorry. I might just be like one guided. Like, I just got one guided like from the chat. But I saw someone say John Somali 2.0. Holy fuck. There's no way this is like people's actual opinion on this.
There was a sign too? What? Wait, did we see it? I mean, it's even if it's abandoned, right? Someone still owns the land. So, like, go back a bit, really.
I'm sorry, this is so fucking funny. This is so dumb. It went from like, oh my god, he's gonna try to break into a house to now like, wait, someone owns that land. Who gives a fuck if they own the land, dude? He's just walking on it. Also, but I think from the point where he camps actually is like more on the coast. So, public domain, whatever. He's not even, like bring you the actual house itself. He's so nobody like tiny saying that he's actually like stomached by it. And this clip, like he gets like an actual full-blown conversation at some later part, but like I'll play it, until then.
Camping.
Are we looking for it?
Okay, we have found this abandoned house, and we're wondering.
It's in the backyard, really?
Bear.
Why would a sign saying no trespassing be in the backyard? Fucking it. And I'm calling it. I think somebody, said that and he read it out loud. But what a fucking moronic idea.
Like a dirt sort of structure, so we would be basically right here.
Yeah, right
We're
there.
talking about the sign in the recap. Oh, okay. I mean,
this shit looks like a.
Yeah, look, and a lot of the times when I'm talking about stuff like this, and I'm saying like, yeah, they don't do this. This is not a good idea. Even though like it's a funny video and it's a great bit, and they're not harming anyone. They're not making any, like. Most of us can understand that there is pretty much like not that much wrong with this, but obviously, because Ludwig's a content creator and a big content creator. It's still illegal to do it, right? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Okay, this is a dumb point for attention. Objectively, it's true, but like listen to this part, and just it feels like he's being so upset by it, like so tilted by it. He's be like, listen, guys, technically nothing wrong happened, but it's illegal. Yeah, so it's jaywalking. Who gives a fuck if someone records themselves, camping at a place or jaywalking? There's a pretty big line, between public opinion about something being bad and something being illegal. Most of us illegal, or a small bit of it, nobody gives a shit. Like jaywalking and this kind of stuff. Also, it feels like he's self-inserting himself, to make an issue when there really is none. there's no sign. You don't even find a sign, and there's no person, in there, being upset by it. If, like, once again, if the person in the house, came out and be like, hey, get the fuck out, they would listen to him. But CDawg couldn't find that, so he's being like, listen, hypothetically, if there's a person in the house, they could arrest. Bro, this is a part like he says, Ludwig and Micheal could be held in custody for 28 days if they got arrested from this. Who the fuck would get arrested by the police in Japan for camping in a place and, posing no threat? It could happen, but realistically, it wouldn't.
How harmless it is. You shouldn't film yourself trespassing. And so, like, that's why I'm being a stickler about it, right? Because, Lud can do this, and then he gets to go home and stuff. And for me, I live here, I'm a content creator. The last thing I want is the fucking Japanese video like, you won't believe what these foreigners did. And then Lud's like, that's nice. And then he like leaves. But then I'm like, bro, I am content creator. And some people...
That's what, this part like blew my mind. Okay, so you're making a big point about this because Ludwig and Micheal, they traveled to Japan, but CDawg, Connor, he lives here. He's gonna get fucked. Ludwig, Micheal, please don't fuck about doing a very minor thing. It could affect me. Like, this entire point is being like, don't fuck around because you're gonna mess with me. This guy that lives in Tokyo. I'm sorry, I promise CDawg's pretty big, but I don't think these harmless actions would be big enough as like John Somali and it could fuck over Connor. Like, stop self-insulting yourself. It's actually laughable. Being like, guys, I live here. Please think about me. Fuck the children. Think about me. Like, holy, I was blown away by this part. Jesus Christ.
People are like, well, I saw Lud do it and it was fine. And it's just like, yeah, but you just shouldn't do it. Like, it's not worth the risk. Because, like, all it takes is, like, maybe the guy just comes to check in on his plot, sees someone camping, calls the police, and then you got a really fucking awkward...
If somebody saw, okay, what is this moronic hypothetical? Someone sees, two white guys, two say white boy. I'm sorry, one of them's fucking Micheal. Who's being threatened by fucking Micheal? But they see two guys camping on a beach, their somewhat backyard, and they call the police. Before that would never happen in Japan. They would talk to him for a bit and then be like, please, or they have like their phone Google Translate, be like, please leave, and they would go immediately. What's this, moronic situation being like they would arrest them fully?
Awkward situation on your hands. And luckily the police are really chill here, so probably nothing will happen. But they can hold you for 28 days without charging you. It is not like the US. And they won't.
They would hold foreigners I'm sorry, they're gonna fucking upset America by holding, citizens there for 28 days for camping on a place that had no sign saying no trespassing. That's moronic. Where does this idea come from? Now, I was mentioning as well, this stream is still up. However, I think initially it was a video on Connor's channel, but that video is now deleted. I think, he realized he's overreacting, but still, the fact that he made a point about this initially is, mind-boggling. Who would make like such a big deal out of this nothing burger? I have no idea.
They don't fuck around. You always see Reddit posts of people being like, hey, I haven't heard from my friend in a week. I wonder if something's happened. And it's normally always that they are being held by the police.
Oh, that's what it's being like, people in Japan, they don't fuck around. What about John Somali? That fucking scumbag, nothing against Japanese people, but they were being so lazy with him. He walked around freely, for the entire duration in that country. Nothing happened. He went to Israel, The only country that acted up is South Korea. I'm sorry, South Korea got a W in Japan. They actually, did some shit compared to Japan. So what is the point being, they don't fuck around? I'm sorry, but in Japan, I think they do, especially with foreigners, with tourists, whatever. They do fuck about. I'm sorry.
And they will hold you for 28 days and like keep you there. And then they'll deport you after it. So it's like, it's just not worth it. It's like the risk is so high for such little gain, right? The US, in the UK, you get held for 24 hours and they'll charge you, they let you go, right? It's just not.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I think Connor is cooked by Japanese culture because he brings, in America, in the UK, it'd be fine. Honestly, I think, at this point, I'm just gonna be honest. I think Japan has like such a nice culture that people be like, you can't do anything bad at all. And if you do, you'll be put to death. Like, I'm sorry, if I saw a guy in America or in the UK or in Europe camp outside, a very clear abandoned place, I would not give a shit. But for some reason, because this is in Japan, it's very wrong. Yes, it's illegal. It's illegal, in most countries in the world. But in this part, he feels like so biased by it because it's, it's in Japan and that it's posing a threat to him because he lives in Tokyo, he might get fucking deported because of Ludwig and Micheal camping outside a place. It makes no sense.
Like that here. So better than not, the advice is just if you don't have to interact with the police, don't interact with the police. And by putting yourself in situations where someone might call the police on you, I just wouldn't recommend it. And so I just don't, like, when I'm being a stickler about it, I'm just telling you, I don't want you to see this and get in trouble.
This guy could like see a guy like eating a peanut, be like, listen, dude, I don't want to be a stickler, but you ought not be eating that you ought not be camping a place that's clearly abandoned and nobody will fucking press you against it. You ought not do that. I'm being a stickler.
At the end of the day, you are a guest, and you have to be mindful of like different cultural.
Guys, you're a guest. Don't fucking disrespect Japanese culture.
Norms, different rules.
Don't you have a tent?
But trespassing in general.
I think it's worse. It'd just be colder.
Although in Europe you can do it in some countries.
But you're still...
That's what I mean. I'm sorry. He's running that, in Europe, nobody gives a shit. But I think deep down, in his mind, every country is a shithole. But Japan is so high and mighty that trespassing is an awful crime. I'm sorry, but at this point, it really is like that meme. Place boring, but place, Japan. Oh my god. I can't shake off the feeling. I'm sorry.
It's gross.
I've seen the bad one.
Right, I'm gonna mute for a second because he doesn't really add much. But look, this is where they camp. Fuck me, I hate Twitch. It's such an awful layout. Okay, so this is where they camp, nowhere near the actual house, or it might be close to the house, but it looks pretty far away. Because like if you zoom into like the video, this is like like the sea barriers, is that what you call it? It breaks off here. However, you can clearly tell they're much further away. They're so clear far away from the house. Okay, so he's making the point of the trespassing, but two things: they didn't actually break through the house, and they didn't camp that close to the backyard, wherever they stay. All they was just go around the fucking house. But that's trespassing because they trespass on the land that nobody gives a shit about. Like they will leave like an ugly ass building on there, but God forbid two white boys from America come walking around it. Fuck that noise. Oh my god, I'm sorry, but I'm reading like the chat right now on the far right. It's just so moronic. Respectful, yes. Very mindful. So you're so full of shit. It's one of those things, like, oh, it's in Japan, you have to be respectful. In any country, you guys will not give a shit. I'm sorry. It's such a nothing burger. My god. Also, that's what I forgot to mention. In my opinion, Ludwig, nothing against them, but he's a bit spineless. So if this drama, I'm covering right now, if it gets big enough, Ludwig and Micheal, or one of them, they might, concede and make an apology for this. If they did that, I would laugh so fucking hard. Because like I said before, this thing, it's nothing. Nothing bad happened. I would not give a shit. It only works, hypothetically, if something bad did happen. But once again, on stream, on this video that they upload on this channel, nothing bad actually happened. So what's the point? But if he does make an apology, it would be so laughable. My god. Now I will give it to Connor for during the video, but once again, the fact that he was so tilted by it to talk about it for like 4 minutes on stream and then upload a video in the first place, that's still a bad sign regardless. Anyway, how can you be so upset by it? Like, my god. But yeah, hopefully you got to the video. I mean, this was a lot of fun because Connor got so irrationally angry at this. It was actually really funny. But yeah, I think past this, I think this could go nowhere. But if it does, and Ludwig makes an apology, that would be so laughable. Because this entire thing has just been nothing. Nothing bad happened, and nothing bad will happen from this. And I still can't believe that this came from Ludwig and Micheal camping in a place or trespassing, barely trespassing. Like, Connor, if you're watching, be for real. This was, just nothing from the first place.